So it looks like a beat in the race for the quarter for you guys. What was driving the results in this quarter?
Well, we had a very strong quarter. We carried our momentum from 2017 into 18, and our pharmaceutical business continued to have stellar results. Pharmaceutical sales were up 15% on a constant currency basis, and really, really strong results. And even across all of our businesses, our sales have exceeded analyst estimates in all three sectors, and of course, we exceeded earnings estimates as well.
One of the things that you guys highlight here in your earnings release, which just crossed, is the plan to invest more than $30 billion in research and development and capital investments in the U.S. over the next 4 years, an increase, you say, of 15% because of U.S. tax legislation. Tell us about those investments and the impact of tax reform on you guys.
Sure, Meg. Well, we're very proud that we're able to do that, especially in the U.S. And the U.S. tax law provides now much more flexibility to use our capital on a global basis, including in the U.S. So we plan to invest, as we said this morning, more than $30 billion over about a 4-year period in both R&D and capital, working on new, improved ways to help improve healthcare, but also manufacture with new technologies right here in the United States. We're very proud about that.
How are you looking at the M&A environment, especially in biotech right now, where valuations have come back a little bit? There's a lot of expectation that 2018 is going to be a bigger year for biotech M&A. What would you say about J&J's role as a buyer there?
Well, generally, we're always a buyer. We've had about 50% of our growth come from M&A activity throughout many, many years. We don't think that'll change. We're always on the lookout for good opportunities, but it has to be at the right price, at the right time, and with the right partner.
Right. Where do you feel like biotech valuations are in terms of the right price?
Well, I think they're a little stretched, to be fair. I think they're a little stretched, but depending on the technology and depending on what we can do with the asset in our hands, we'll obviously take a hard look at that and make a decision at the right time.
Well, we know that you've announced your retirement, so we've always appreciated you coming on every quarter to talk with us. As you kind of reflect back, you've been CFO, I guess, for 11 years of J&J. You've been there for 18 years. How would you reflect on where the pharmaceutical industry stands in this country in terms of its productivity, but also in terms of its reputation, all these issues about drug pricing? How do you kind of reflect on that as you're preparing to retire?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm obviously very proud to have been the CFO of Johnson & Johnson. Now I'm in my 12th year, and I'm going to miss the great people at Johnson & Johnson and all the work they do to improve healthcare. But do you think of the advances in healthcare over the time that I've been CFO here? They've just been remarkable. We're now talking about cures for diseases. And I know there's a lot of discussion about the cost of healthcare overall and the cost of drugs. As you know, drugs or pharmaceuticals represent only about 14 or 15% of the total healthcare cost. So I think sometimes what's overlooked is the benefit to patients and society of the drugs that we're developing. And I'm proud to say we're part of developing those drugs and pricing them very responsibly.
What has your reflection been on how this administration approaches the pharmaceutical industry? There was a lot of talk about pressure on drug prices. We're hearing there's going to be a speech soon from President Trump about drug prices. What's your expectation for how that will play out?
Well, we've heard a lot about that, and we haven't seen much action on that front. And we believe that there's a real serious discussion and debate that needs to be had about what I just mentioned, the benefit and the encouragement to continue to innovate in our country. I think companies like Johnson & Johnson price our products responsibly. We just issued a report where our overall price in the U.S. was down 4.5% from the prior year, and we've invested more in research and development than we have in benefit of price increase. So I think it has to be looked at holistically, and we're obviously looking forward to engaging in a serious dialogue on the topic.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.